Good morning, students. Today we discuss golden age of Malayalam cinema till the present age. As I said earlier, golden age of Malayalam cinema happens during 80s to mid 90s. So those are a set of movies which were commercially successful and yet aesthetically appealing, which came out in large volume during this period. We see the emergence of stars, mega stars like Mohanlal and Mammootty during this period, and directors like Sibi Malayalam, Satnandikad, Priyadarshan, Kamal, Fasil, Siddiq Lal. They became established names in mainstream. The stories of this period come from everyday life with a lucid narration which neatly blended humor and pathos, melancholy. The cinema of this period, it is said that, was mainly star oriented, which gave Mammootty and Mohanlal enormous space to rule and flourish as the monarchs of Malayalam cinema. The films like Mrigaya, ഒരു വടക്കൻ വീരഗാഥ, അമരം starring Mammootty and രാജാവിന്റെ മകൻ, കിരീടം starring Mohanlal were actually making waves in Kerala. And all these scripts which were written during this period were tailored to suit the image of these two stars and the taste of their respective audience. And there was this article titled Mammootty and Mohanlal emerge as unprecedented superstars of Malayalam film, which was published in 1988 in India Today. It says that they are the Dei ex machina, that is a Greek word which means an unexpected power who comes to save from a hopeless situation. So they are considered as Dei ex machina. The Malayalam industry, the Malayalam film industry has been waiting for. Ever since the first Malayalam film was put together 50 years ago, the industry has been craving for superheroes who would step out of the screen into the collective consciousness of the people. Mammootty and Mohanlal have now metamorphosed into superstars. So impregnable is their hold over the industry today that new films are launched only if they have time. The top dream merchants see to it that the characters are created according to the dictates of these superstars. So, these are the lines from an article which appeared in India Today in 1988. So, that sums up the stardom of these two actors. And the unique feature of this period, as an important film critic, C.S. Venkateshwaran, notes. These films could bring together masculinity and power into the star body, while early films of this period gave emphasis to individual masculinity. The films of 90s became multidimensional by incorporating various power structure into it. So thus this superstar centered narratives were woven into the fabric of Malayalam cinema. And we see that the common themes during this period was unemployment and also discussed the other serious social issues. Unemployment was a kind of a recurrent theme, even if you watch all those Vijayan Dasan series. Mainly, those narratives are narratives of unemployment. So, all those serious issues, so that is actually the success adds to the success of these movies. They could bring out all those serious social issues quoted in a humorous or light manner. And this period, 80s to 90s, was also brilliant for all streams of Malayalam cinema, whether it is commercial, art cinema, or middle stream cinema. And along with that, we see a new stream of brilliant film technicians. It is said that from 1995, slapstick comedies, mimicry films, they became predominant genres during 1990s. Along with that, we see these superstars donning the roles of feudal superheroes, as you see in Dhruvam, Mammootty in Dhruvam, and Mohanlal in Aram Tampuran. And therefore, we see a set of films with similar themes and formulas. Taking the case of slapstick comedies, we see these films C.I.D. Musa, Misha Madhavan, Kunnikunan, which brought Dilip as a superstar, and this was also an age 1995 to 2000. This was also an age where you see all those sequels to a number of successful films like Ravana Prabhu and sequels to Oru CBI Direcuruppu, which became major hits during this period. Many movies during early 2000s were of low quality, but there were some movies which were examples of excellent filmmaking like Meghamalhar, Madhuranambarakattu, Nandanam, Perumalakalam, Kalcha, etc. And there was this surge of Tamil movies, and it resulted in increased popularity of Tamil and Hindi movies in Kerala. And by the end of 2000, we see the decline of film industry and an emergence of soft porns during this period. As you see films like Kinnarathumbigal, in which you see the porn actress Shakila. So these happened during 2000, and by 2005 Malayalam movies saw a comeback. We had new directors such as Lal Jose, Roshan Andrews, Blessy, Anwar Rashid, who brought back original scripts to Malayalam movies. And the notable movies of this era were Nandanam, Udayananu Taram, Notebook, Classmates, Kirti Chakra, Vinodayatra, Paradeshi, Rajamanikyam, Karutha Pakshigal, Arabikada, etc. And many of these movies were remade into other languages too. And this era has seen new promising actors like Kunjako Boban, Prithviraj, Jayasuriya, along with the stalwarts Mammootty, Mohanlal, Suresh Gopi, and Jairam. And after several years of qualitative deterioration, Malayalam films saw the signs of some renaissance with the release of several experimental films like Tirakada, Kerala Cafe, and film director Ranjit could be in a way called the change maker. And these films heralded the trend and allowed that experimental creative space for newcomers. During this period, we have this film Adaminte Magan Abu by Salim Muhammad, which was chosen as India's official entry to the Academy Awards to be considered for the nomination in the Best Foreign Film category for the year 2011. It is actually the second Malayalam film to be nominated for the Academy Award for Best Foreign Language Film after Rajiv Anjal's Guru. And other films that contributed the most to this renaissance include Ritu, Kuttisrang, ഭ്രമരം, പാലേരി മാണിക്യം ഒരു പാതിരാ കൊലപാതകത്തിന്റെ കഥ, പ്രാഞ്ചിയേട്ടൻ ആൻഡ് ദ സെയിന്റ്, ഉറുമി, ടി.ഡി. ദാസൻ സ്റ്റാൻഡേർഡ് 6B, ട്രാഫിക്, ഗദ്ദാമ, പ്രണയം, സിറ്റി ഓഫ് ഗോഡ്, etc. So now we come to these set of films which are termed as new generation cinema. So this is a new category of mainstream film, and this trend was led by a generation of young filmmakers. This trend was called by different terms like new wave, new generation, etc. And different film writers refer to Traffic, which came out in 2011, as the first film which heralded a shift in the production as well as the sensibilities of the Malayalam cinema. The noted feature was that these new films were well embedded in the commercial discourses of production as well as distribution. It cannot be considered as a distinct stream as the parallel cinema used to be in the 70s. This is a series of films which were released one after another. We have Pepper in 2011, Chapa Kurichal 2011, Beautiful 2011, City of God, ഈ അടുത്ത കാലത്ത് ആമീൻ, and numerous other films. All these films found commercial success one after another, provoking the public sphere discussions on the nature and uniqueness of these sets of films. And these films experimented with digital formats. A common feature connecting these films was the youthfulness in its creative and production aspects. We have young filmmakers like Ashik Kapoor, Samir Tahir, Rajesh Pillai, Arun Kumar Aravind, Lijo Jose Pelliശ്ശേരി, Anjali Menon, Amal Neerad, Dilesh Potan, etc., and many others who took up the director's mantle. And in the writing department, we had young writers like Unniyar, Santosh Chikanam, Shyam Pushkaran, Sanjeev Bobby, etc., who tried to weave new themes. The choice of actors was also youth oriented. The superstars had no place in the narrative that preferred non star bodies of Fahd Fasil, Nivin Poli, Asif Ali, Shine Tom Chacko, Aju Varghese. So it is said that it was the youth that constructed it. And there were some obvious features which these films worn around their sleeves. There is a unanimous agreement that they dealt with certain taboo themes and they shared a recurrence with middle cinema of 80s. The reliance of young and newcomers in the acting department could be due to the constraints of budget, but actually it helped in creating an aura of being against superstar system. The narratives also supported such an image with multi-narratives denying space for a superstar body. And also the screen space and time allotted to women also increased, giving a pro women image to these films. And as a negation of a misogynist framework of earlier superstar productions, as you see in films like King, where this collector attacks assistant collector, the female assistant collector. It is something like a vitriolic attack, which contains all those verbal abuse. So these are the films which brought out, these set of new films brought out a pro women attitude. Along with that, these films got wide appreciation for the polyphonic representation of Kerala society with its portrayal of Kerala's diversity in its dialects, re- regions, and communities. So there was this incident of assault and abduction of an actress, which became a tipping point and prompted film artists to form Women in Cinema Collective to fight for gender equality and safety at workplace. So these are the new trends, the changes brought down by a new set of films which completely negated the ingredients of all those commercial cinema which were happening before. So in next class we will discuss the contemporary trends of Malayalam cinema. So now we have reached the new generation Malayalam cinema, and it is said that by some of the film critics it is termed now we are going through something known as post new generation cinema. So what happened in 2010 for around 5 or 6 years, it is new generation cinema, and what happens now, it is termed as post new generation cinema. We have all those films starting from Maheshinda Pradikaram, Imayav, Tondimudalam Daksakshim, Kumblangi Nights. All these films come under the title post new generation cinema. So we'll next class we'll continue the discussions on new generation cinema, and then we'll move to post new generation cinema as well. So thank you girls. Have a nice day.